Coming up today, first at 4, we have a big cool down on the way. Right now, exact track 4D radar is clear. The severe weather has moved out and fall officially arrives. Your forecast is straight ahead.
Also, former President Donald Trump facing claims of fraud in a civil lawsuit.
Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
The allegations, possible punishment, and response from the former president's attorney. Next, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we are looking at a sweeping lawsuit against former President Donald Trump, 3 of his children and his company. They're all accused of padding Trump's net worth and then lying about the value of prized assets. Devin Skillian in the newsroom with the claims and the response from the former president's attorney. Devin.
Yeah, Karen, this lawsuit comes after a 3-year civil investigation focusing on Donald Trump, the Trump Organization, and his 3 eldest children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. If they were to lose, the lawsuit could destroy a key part of Trump's persona, as he's always portrayed himself as a very successful and savvy businessman with a significant net worth. New York's Attorney General Letitia James alleges, though, that Trump lied about the values of his golf courses, hotels, and homes at Mar-a-Lago and at Trump Tower in New York. The filing illustrates an eye-popping more than 200 alleged instances of fraud over 10 years, 2011 to 2021. The suit is seeking at least $250 million, it says, is the approximate worth of the benefits the defendants gained through fraudulent practices. It's also seeking to bar the Trump family and organization from doing business in New York real estate and from applying for any loans in New York for a period of 5 years. James gave one example, accusing Trump of claiming his apartment in Trump Tower was 30,000 square feet when it was really 11,000.
And based on that inflated square footage, the value of the apartment in 2015 and 2016 was $327 million. To this date, no apartment in New York City has ever sold for close to that amount. Tripling the size of the apartment for purposes of the valuation was intentional and deliberate fraud, not an honest mistake.
An attorney for the former president released a statement saying, quote, "Today's filing is neither focused on the facts nor the law. Rather, it is solely focused on advancing the Attorney General's political agenda. It is abundantly clear that the Attorney General's office has exceeded its statutory authority by prying into transactions where absolutely no wrongdoing has taken place." End of quote. That from Alina Harba. The Attorney General says the suit was filed after she rejected settlement offers from lawyers for the defendants. But it comes as, of course, Trump faces other investigations, one large one connected to the 2020 election, the January 6th insurrection, and more. At the same time, also considering, though, of course, another run for president in 2024. So much more to come as we continue to follow this. This is just happening this afternoon. Karen, back to you.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Devin. It's been a busy day in the weather office. Some stormy weather blew through Metro Detroit. Now the sun is shining and another change coming. Meteorologist Kim Adams has your first forecast.
Well, Karen, we did have those strong thunderstorms come through just exactly when we thought they would, around the midday hour, and now it is nice and quiet on exact track 4D radar. As we look at the clouds and radar, we do have a lot of clouds in place. The cold front has not come through yet. Normally, this is when we would start getting those showers and thunderstorms, but the storms we had earlier really zapped the energy needed to get more storms going. But it's still hot and humid out ahead of this front with temperatures in the 80s, a lot of heat down to our south. But you see that cooler air just starting to settle in. So here's where we go with our temperatures as that cold front pushes through this evening. We go from 84 at 6 o'clock by midnight all the way down to the low 70s. And by tomorrow morning when you wake up, it will be 30 degrees cooler than it is right now. We'll talk more about that and your weekend forecast coming up.
Detroit police looking for answers in the shooting death of a 70-year-old man on the city's east side. Right now, the investigation is just getting started. We do know he was found on the 13,000 block of Camden, which is near 94 and Dickerson. The elderly victim was taken to the hospital, but he didn't make it. We do have a crew working the story. We're efforting some new information for you, and we'll have that in a live report tonight at 5. The fallout from a deadly stabbing in Fraser continues. The Macomb County prosecutor says 3 juveniles will be charged as adults in the death of a 14-year-old boy. It happened back on September 13th. The suspects face several charges, each including felony murder. They were in court this morning and are being held at the Macomb County Juvenile Justice Center without bond. They're expected in court at the end of the month. Well, there's still plenty of confusion and also some concern in the South Redford School District about a cyber attack that canceled classes 2 days in a row. The district was first closed yesterday after the cyber attack was discovered. School leaders are working with cyber forensic teams to restore the system to normal operations. So far, we don't know if any personal information was at risk. Anyone with devices issued by the district still being told not to use them. We're waiting to see if the schools will reopen tomorrow. Parents will be notified when that decision is made, and of course, we'll keep you posted. An oil refinery near Toledo, Ohio remains closed after a fire that left 2 people dead and some unanswered questions. Some big flames and a tower of smoke could be seen for miles when that fire started. So far, there's no word on the cause or the extent of the damage. The refinery can process up to 160,000 barrels of crude oil per day. We do have a crew in Toledo getting new information on what comes next and also asking those questions about how the fire could affect the prices we all pay at the gas pump. We'll have that live report at 5. Tensions are rising between the United States and Russia as Vladimir Putin makes a new threat and President Biden responds. Biden told the United Nations Ukraine is fighting Russia for its very right to exist.
Whoever you are, wherever you live, whatever you believe, that should make your blood run cold.
Today, Putin announced a partial mobilization of Russia's armed forces. He accused the West of trying to destroy his country and said Russia has lots of weapons to reply, seeming to hint at the possible use of nuclear force. Putin also, the threat is, quote, not a bluff. Biden is condemning the actions and putting the blame for the conflict squarely on Putin.
This world should see these outrageous acts for what they are. Putin claims he had to act because Russia was threatened. But no one threatened Russia, and no one other than Russia sought conflict.
The new move comes as Ukraine just handed Russia some stunning losses, taking back towns and uncovering new evidence of war crimes. It is clear there is no end in sight for the invasion that started almost 7 months ago. The Federal Reserve just raised a key interest rate as it tries to fight inflation without sending the country into a recession. It boosted a short-term rate by 3/4 of a point for a 3rd straight time. So that pushes it to the highest level since early 2008. The move makes it more expensive to borrow money, which could then slow spending. And the plan, obviously, is to cool inflation. We've been keeping an eye on the markets for you. The Dow Jones was down about 300 points yesterday as investors waited for the Fed's decision today. And take a look. Takes a big dive, down 522 points at the close. By the way, Fed has also signaled more rate hikes are likely in the future. Here at home, we are celebrating some of Detroit's best artists this month, and it's not too late for you to enjoy their work. Every September, the city holds a wide range of experiences that shine a spotlight on beautiful creations of all kinds. Kim DeGiulio shows us what Detroit's Month of Design is all about.
Everywhere you look in Detroit, design has an influence, from the murals to the cars we drive, even the landscaping in our parks. It's all design-based, and that deserves to be celebrated.
Detroit Month of Design is all about experiencing the beauty and art of Detroit.
There's a lot of different artists that you can go see installations that they've done, or you can do like virtual walkthroughs of places.
Detroit Dye House in Corktown is one of the many organizations participating in the 12th annual event put on by Design Corps Detroit.
And so every Sunday of September, we've opened our doors from 1 to 3 p.m. and you can come in and you can dye with us, learn different techniques, and all of the items that are dyed go to different organizations.
From beanies for children fighting cancer to socks for people who need clothing. And this weekend's project.
I'm making spirals on these dog bandanas.
Bandanas for rescue animals.
And we decided to do what we do, which is teach dye classes here, but make it available to everyone and try to really get the community to come and give back.
Alexandra Chevrolet says creativity is in Detroit's DNA, and celebrating that only helps that creativity grow.
everyone really tries to work with each other rather than compete against each other. And I think the Detroit Month of Design has helped to propel that attitude here in the city.
And workshops like this allow people who may be intimidated by art or design get a taste of how much design impacts our city.
If we get to do this for a living, if we get to make pretty things every day, then it's kind of our responsibility to give that back to everyone else.
And the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy will also be participating in the Month of Design with an event right here on the DeQuinder Cut. For information on all the events, workshops, and installations, you can visit our website at clickondetroit.com. In Detroit, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
Great. Thank you, Kim. The 2022 festival will be covering over 70 events and experiences that can be enjoyed in open air spaces, indoors, on demand, and virtually.